it's a tough business. Cam, it's a tough business. It really is.
Here we go. ESPN's Eduardo Peréz joining us right now on FT. Are you bringing us a little show and tell?
What's going on, fellas?
What's up, dude? I was like, I can't believe we haven't had Eduardo on this show before. We're almost 2 years in. That's our bad for not sending the invite earlier. But
no, he declined.
What?
Nope.
You got to know.
Numerous times. I've seen him in spring training. I've seen him at the All-Star game. I've seen him playoffs.
Are you calling me out?
I've seen him. And one time I even texted him happy birthday to the wrong Eddie Perez. And I sent it to him instead of the mustached Eddie Perez. And so maybe that's why he won't. Maybe that's why it's the first time he's been on, because, he got mad that I wished the other Eddie Perez happy birthday.
But it's amazing how I have to follow your legs, though, right? You're showing off your legs on camera,
Yeah.
and then I have to follow that. Pretty tough.
Yeah.
That's a tough.
Impossible to follow.
I don't know. You did come back in with the guns. That shirt looked a little tight. I saw you.
You like that, huh?
I saw you. I see you working.
I'm working it. It wasn't fitting like a month ago. Now it's working.
Wow.
You know what? Hindsight's 50-50 now, though, instead of 20-20.
Dude, I love that. You look great, and you're on for the playoffs. So let's start here. What wild card series are you getting? What do you want? What are you seeing?
Man, I'm cheering for something with maybe a little San Diego with the Mets involved. But after watching last night, I mean, what's to stop San Diego from not winning that division now? It's kind of crazy. I think tonight's going to be really interesting to see what happens there. But right now, I'm looking forward to seeing Houston in the wild card. Don't know what's going to happen with the Mets and Braves with the weather that's coming in also from the hurricane. So there's a lot of what ifs. Are they going to have to play on Monday if they can't get the game in tonight and tomorrow? All those questions are still up in the air.
Yo, Eduardo, you talk about the Astros, and I want to stay in the AL. Their dominance has been incredible, right? Despite the trash cans and the buzzer. We're talking about 7 of the last 8 ALCSs. Here they are right now. And I look at how teams are shaping up, and they very much remind me of the Atlanta Braves, right? Had a lot of injuries, added some nice pieces towards the end. Jason Hayward. Do you think that they have a very strong chance again this year to do what they've done in the past? And who do you think could really kind of be a team to surprise us in the AL right now as we're looking at this thing shape up?
Look, of course Houston has a chance, and they have a chance because of their pitching, right? And that won't even include Justin Verlander in there. Now, I'm concerned about Alvarez, concerned about his knee, but it all stems with the starting pitching and the bullpen of the Houston Astros. It is set up for postseason play. And I think this is what makes them dangerous. And I'll tell you another thing that makes them dangerous. They don't have to sit and get, and see who they're going to face. There's an advantage, I think, to a Houston Astros team to be able to play in the wild card because they can still continue to play well. I mean, no team in the American League has played as well as the Houston Astros from April 27th on. Yeah, they started off really bad, but they've been solid throughout. And the surprising team to me, man, how can you not like what the Detroit Tigers are doing, right? These are hot teams that are playing. They're going to continue to play throughout the wild card. Yeah, they're going to have to go on the road to do it, but who's to stop them from being able to accomplish the improbable? And they played well. Carpenter's been phenomenal. Perez has been great. Sweeney has been a constant as well there. I like the team and I like the vibe and I love what AJ has been able to do. Now, just imagine that it could be the Astros versus the Tigers in round 1. Ooh, that would be good.
That would be good.
Do I call you Eduardo or Eddie? Because I always call you Eddie, but I'll just never.
Oh, yeah, you're good. My mom's not watching. If mom's watching, it's Eduardo. She's flying right now. That's why she's not watching. She's flying.
Okay, because, a lot of Latin guys go by their last name, so I just call you Perez. It's weird. You go in the clubhouse, they're like, hey, Perzinski. Hey, what's up? And I'm like, hey, Eduardo. And they're like, hey, Perzinski, how you doing, buddy? So I'm always confused by that. But I got a question for you.
We all say hello
they
when
do,
we go in.
Yes, 100%. They're all great. Listen, most of the guys, 99% of the guys are awesome. But I do have an Astros question for you. You were the bench coach in 2013. Yeah. They were awful. We played against you guys when I was in Texas, and you guys were awful. 2014, you resigned. 2015, they make the playoffs. Did it have something to do with you leaving, or did you see this coming as they got better?
Knowing and going in, and you're funny. You're funny. You crack me up. You've got jokes. I love it. You got jokes.
Trust me, there's more coming.
Oh, that's good. I'll take it. 111 losses, man. I'm so scarred from it. No, I had to. I'll tell you this. 2013 was an interesting year because we were testing the ground control, and that's their system, their analytical system, and I got really involved in it. And being able to deal with Sig Mejdal hand in hand every Friday we would meet. If it's at home, we would come in, we would meet, we would talk about the analytics, understanding the shift, also talking about other advantages. Does the no doubles rule work? How about double plays? Looking at it, if you score first, if there's a walk, all these little things that we were testing, and also evaluating who were going to be the players that were going to be able to stay when this team became good. And it was actually 4 guys that were able to stay from that team once the team became a contender year after year. I thought 2015 was early, and they overcame a lot of things, and I think that almost set them back a little bit. But on the contrary, Dallas Keuchel came out and became a star. Jose Altuve has still become and still is a star. They had Marwin Gonzalez that was still there, and because of that year, the team was able to get better, not only on the international market, but also on the draft process of it. And I think that's one of the big reasons why they became good. Carlos Correa, Alex Bregman, all those guys were a product of it. Yes, did they miss on some drafts? Absolutely. But one thing that has become a constant, you look at that starting rotation from Framber Valdez to Blanco. You look at others that have come through there, they signed late out of the Dominican Republic. And you have to give a lot of credit to the creativity that the Houston Astros had while they were losing to become sustainable year after year. And I think you could say the same thing from the Baltimore Orioles now. I think they're going to become sustainable year after year because they followed that same strategic development that the Houston Astros did.
I love that. I love your insight. And one thing I know about you from early on, meeting you early in my career, after my playing career, you've always been a guy that I feel like moves in good faith, good works, right? I'd be remiss not to bring this up and get your opinion. How do you feel about the Rowdy Tellez situation, right? When you watch Pittsburgh, as they seem this season to be getting a little bit closer to where they want to go. Well, as a free agent, does that impact guys wanting to come in when you see a guy like Rowdy Tellez, who the game, right? This is a fraternity. The game loves him as a brother. When you see that type of business be done, how does that sit with you, and where does that leave the Pittsburgh Pirates moving forward, in your opinion?
It's a tough business, Cam. It's a tough business. It really is. And look, it's unfortunate. You go in and you try to get to your, if it's vesting options or to the bonuses that you can get to. And this is real. This has been going on for years. I remember my first manager was Buck Rogers, and he would actually bring in the players and say, okay, what are your incentives? What do you have? What do you need to get to? He wanted to know what was important to the player so he can achieve it. He didn't want to deal with the front office saying, back in the day, it wasn't like, okay, the front office had so much control of what the manager was doing, putting it as an input on the field, as we see now. Now it has become a serious business where the front office has to be together with the field management, and you have to understand it. And look, man, he missed out on, I think it was, $250,000 that he would have gotten, or $200,000 that he would have gotten with 4 more at-bats. But it's tough, man. You see it coming. I've seen it done before. It was unfortunate that this one came to light, but it's not the first, and I don't think it's going to be the last. And I don't think we should just pinpoint on one organization, because I think every organization at one time throughout the years have done what they did to Rowdy.
Eduardo, listen, I agree with what you said. I remember Tom Kelly, when I first came up, was calling dudes in the office that were in guaranteed contracts saying, hey, how many innings do you need to hit your incentives? How many at-bats the guys need? The coaches would sit down and say, all right, this guy's got 92 RBIs. We'd like to get him to 95. He'll have to play. Like some of them made it, some of them didn't. But I remember Eric Milton was like 2/3 of an inning short, and they pitched him in the bullpen on the last couple of days to get him those 2/3 of an inning. It was like $100,000, and it was cool, like, to see things like that. Now I told the story before, 2015, I think it was, Atlanta Braves. Yeah. David Ardsma was like 1 inning away or 1 appearance from like 150 grand. DFA'd. Chip, see it, kind of like the Rowdy thing. And you're like, why? And then we, as players, we're like, why would you do this to a guy that's been so valuable? Yeah, we suck, but this guy pitches every day. He's our veteran in the pen. Let him be here for the kids.
100%. Look, I had a teammate of mine, Joe Oliver, Orlando guy, right?
Duke Joe.
I love it. I called him Joey Bag of Donuts. So Joe had an incentive every plate appearance. It would be, so anytime he would get mentioned, so late in September, every time, and back then there were no DHs in the National League, he would come in to pinch hit, knowing that they were going to bring in a righty, and then all of a sudden it would be Lenny Harris hitting for him, and all you would hear, Joe in the back is like, give me my money, put me in and take me out. I don't want the at-bat. I just need to get in the game. And he would get that game appearance, and that was like $7,000 every time he would. And he'd sit back in the dugout, happy as can be, never had to get an at-bat, but at least he got into the game. And look, that's just been part of the business. I did it while I managed in winter ball. What are your incentives? Okay, you have to hit 300. There was a guy that was hitting, I'll mention his name, Raul Gonzalez. He was hitting 294.5 or something. He was hitting like 299.4, and he got a hit his first at-bat. I took him out after the second at-bat because I knew what it was. And he's like, why are you taking me out? And he got all pissed off at me and telling me all that stuff. And I'm like, dude, sit down, calm down. And then when I explained it to him, he's like, he gave me a hug. I'm like, look, it's extra money for you. Take it.
Yo, what's up, FT fam? I appreciate you guys loving the content, but I'm seeing only 50% of you guys are subscribed. Go down below, hit that subscribe button so you can get the real inside information on deck. Let's go.
Hey FT fam, it's Alana Rizzo. I can't stop talking about Vuori. Vuori is perfect if you are sick and tired of traditional old workout gear. I wear Vuori in all settings, not just in the gym, because honestly, it's comfier than whatever you're currently wearing. No joke. I'm wearing Vuori daily leggings right now. They're high-waisted with the drawstring and cupped ankles. They look good and they feel great. You're going to love them. Vuori is an investment in your happiness. For our listeners, they are offering 20% off your first purchase. Get yourself some of the most comfortable and versatile clothing on the planet at vuori.com/foul. That's VUORI.com/foul. Not only will you receive 20% off your first purchase, but enjoy free shipping on any U.S. orders over $75 and free returns. Go to vuori.com/foul and discover the versatility of Vuori clothing.
Hey, one last one for me, and we can't let you go. You talk about the Houston Astros, what you see in those guys, the Padres, the kind of baseball they've been playing. Give me your World Series prediction right now. I want to hear who Eduardo Peréz has in the World Series.
Wow, man, this one's a tough one, but how can we ignore what happened last night, guys? I was up, and I'm here in the hotel room watching it. How can we ignore what San Diego's doing? The way that they play, they control at-bats. They don't strike out a lot. They put the ball in play. They don't make mistakes a lot, And I think that's what plays. That triple play to end the game, you have to love the energy and the pitching that they have. They addressed moves. And AJ and Cam, you guys can allude to this. When a team at the trade deadline, AJ probably gets a lot of credit for this. He made moves to make the team better. And when you're in that clubhouse and you're like, wow, we just got Scott. That was the most coveted guy. All the other teams are ticked off that now they don't have Scott. They have the advantage. I think they have a better bullpen than a lot of other teams in the National League. I would be not surprised at all if they represent the National League and the American League. Man, I cannot ignore if the Houston Astros can get through the wild card, it's going to be tough to beat them. It really is. That is a solid team, but Yordan Alvarez has to be in that lineup. If not, the Houston Astros won't go too far.
Makes sense. Now, I know, Eduardo, that you only know about baseball, but I have to ask you this question.
All right.
How bad is Florida State football?
I was there last Saturday. I'm concerned. I'm concerned because right now I'm concerned with the offensive line. We lost a lot of guys from last year. And we're trying to replace them. And obviously, transfer portal, you bring in guys, and do you create a culture? I think that's the hardest part, creating a culture, understanding how to read defenses, understanding how to read your teammates. One thing is practicing. Another thing is all of a sudden you have to go out there and you have to face Georgia Tech. You have to go out.
We got to go to break, so let me sum it up for you. Let me sum it up for you real quick. They suck, and you paid $2 million for your quarterback. So suck it, Seminoles. I hope you guys lose every game.
What about
there's a guy in Colorado who I bet he could keep some real good players in state.
You think?
There's a guy in Colorado. I think he
Brian
could.
Alma mater. Hey, he's going to be in Orlando. Who wants to go see him?
I think they want to get his quarterback around quick. Go get that guy in Colorado.
I know AJ is the show, but is there any way to mute him temporarily here?
Hey, Prime's in Orlando this weekend playing UCF. We're about to find out on Big Noon.
That's right.
There you go.
No, it's going to be fun. Hey, by the way, AJ, where are you going to be? I need to know where you're going to be because I love your calls, man. Where are you going to be during the playoffs?
I don't know yet. It depends because we don't until you guys get done. We don't get till the DS, and I don't know. It all depends. If San Diego wins that division, I mean, it all depends. It really depends on the Dodgers. I'm going to probably get the Phillies if the Dodgers are in, and if the Dodgers aren't in, then I'm probably going to get the Padres. Which, listen, Philly or San Diego, I mean, both are awesome.
It's a win-win. It's a win-win.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, I'm with you. Well, Eduardo, awesome catching up. Good to see you. Everyone can catch him tonight, 7 and 10:30. He's got the marathon shift. That's longer than an MLB game these days on ESPN. They're doing that whip around show, right? Yeah, it's different now. 3.5 hours. Yeah.
My age, I need a restroom break, man. Cam, don't laugh, man.
Tell him.
Don't do that.
Say double breaks.
Right here,
double breaks halfway
break,
through. And then Sunday, you can also catch him on that whip around show 5 to 7 on ESPN as the games are finishing up. So Sunday, obviously, is the last day of the regular season. Great catching up. Good to see you, Eduardo.
Hey, great seeing you. Thanks for having me, fellas.
Hey, everybody. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content.
We're back here every weekday, all year long, so do not miss an episode.
The videos are coming in all day. Here's another video you might enjoy.
Baseball the way it should be covered.